A gynecologist was on her way to the hospital in the middle of the night to perform surgery on a woman who was bleeding heavily after childbirth. But on the way, someone deliberately punctured her car tire with spikes. Helpless, she had no choice but to wave down passing cars. Yet no one was willing to give her a ride. Just as she was about to give up, a kind man stopped and offered to take her to the hospital. In such an urgent situation, she didn't think twice and got into the car. But the driver was driving incredibly slowly. She asked him to speed up, to which the driver smiled and casually mentioned he was an unlicensed cab driver. He made a living by picking up passengers like this. He then demanded that she pay in advance. Understanding the situation, she immediately pulled out her phone to transfer him $100, but the driver extorted her $4.5000. Realizing she had gotten into an unlicensed car, she quickly asked him to stop the vehicle. At that moment, the hospital called again. The pregnant woman's condition was deteriorating rapidly. Her life was in danger. Without hesitation, the woman told the driver she would pay him $5,000, but only if he got her to the hospital in 30 minutes. The driver agreed, as long as the money was guaranteed. Just as she was about to transfer the money, her phone showed insufficient funds. It turned out, earlier that morning, she had performed surgery on a patient, but the patient's husband had broken his leg on a construction site and couldn't afford the surgery fee. Seeing their desperation, she decided to cover the cost herself. Even though her friend had tried to stop her, saying she had her own life and expenses to manage, she ignored the advice, because she felt saving lives was the most important thing. But because of that, she was now out of money, unable to pay the fare. She told the unlicensed driver that she had paid for someone's surgery earlier and couldn't afford $5,000. Could he lower the amount? Before she could finish speaking, she noticed something odd. There were spikes in the back seat of the car. Thinking back to when her tire was punctured, she realized it was the same method. She knew right away that this driver had deliberately spiked the road to extort money from her. Seeing that he had been exposed, the driver suddenly swerved the car into a tree. Terrified and injured, the woman hurriedly got out of the car and hid in some nearby bushes. She quickly called for a rideshare. Meanwhile, the man got out of the car and began searching for her. As he got closer, the woman's fear intensified, just as the man was about to catch her. Luckily, the rideshare driver arrived just in time and took her to the hospital. But as soon as the car started moving, the driver made a call to summon his accomplices, and they immediately blocked the woman's car.